Hello everyone, this is Ashen speaking. Today I want to talk to you guys about how to enter your heart space. Now if you've never seen me before, I'm just going to give you a 2-second intro on who I am, what I do in this world. So I'm an extrasensory psychic, clairvoyant. I am a heart space coach. I help people empower themselves into their heart space, into their authenticity, into self-love. And I use tools like the completion process and hearts work, which you can find more about by commenting down below. I use these tools to help you heal and integrate to the best of your ability. I'm also a trained shaman, and I've also been trained. Let's get into the content. So this is for anybody who is feeling lost, who is feeling like they're stuck in life, anybody who is feeling like they're not thriving, they're not getting the most out of their life, right? So whether that is on the extreme of you feel like you're actually suffering, or if it's like I am comfortably numb kind of feeling, this video is for you. I'm somebody who did feel lost in their life, did experience that extreme suffering, and I'm going to link the video to the My Story video below if you want to find out more about who I really am and how I became to doing all of this work, right, and helping people in the way that I am, right? So what is the heart space? The best way to explain it is by telling you what isn't the heart space to start. So in the society that we're all co-creating right now, we are really stuck in our minds. How can I prove to you right now that you're stuck in your mind? When you look out beyond your eyes, yes, you're visually seeing through your eyes, but you're mentally carrying your consciousness in your head. You're associating the core part of your consciousness in your brain, in your head, right? This actually tells us that our core consciousness is stuck in the head. In society, we have become completely disconnected from our body's natural wisdom. We don't know what emotions are, and we are stuck in our mind, but not in a good way. It's like our minds are controlling us. We are victim to our minds instead of the one in control of our own minds, right? And this is not because of anything that we're doing wrong. It's something that we have collectively opted into. And since we are a tribal species, and since everybody is in this paradigm, it is very hard for the individual to come into that place where they can understand that there is something bigger than the way that we're doing things in this paradigm, that there's something, that is more in alignment for us. It is actually just difficult to recognize that there is something so wrong in the way that we're doing things, and really we start to blame ourselves because we're like, that could be the only explanation of why I feel like this, right? It can't be anyone else. It has to be me. It has to be my fault. We're also really bad at communicating with each other. So we look at everyone else and we think that person is fine. They look great. Their Instagram and their Facebook really is telling me that they're living this amazing life, and I'm the only one that seems to feel like shit on this planet, and there's no other explanation. What's wrong with me, right? And of course we're coming to this conclusion. However, we can break the paradigm right now. We're here to break that paradigm together. And you found this video because you're ready to break the paradigm, okay? So finish and watch till the end, because there's no going back from here. The biggest thing is that we are stuck in our brain following a tribal idea and prognosis of how to live life, and things that are really bad for us have been completely normalized in society. So really bad food that can give you sickness and disease is normalized as something pleasurable and desirable, right? Being completely out of tune with what the natural human body needs, we're going to get into that in a second, is something that, you know, we don't listen to. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what the heart space is now and how to get into it. And then we're going to break that down into how to get into the energetics of the heart space, how to get into the physicality in your physical body in the heart space, how to get into the mind of the heart space, and how to get into the emotional body of the heart space. So the heart is a physical organ in our body, right? So the brain and the heart are the two most major organs in the human body. Big surprise. And we're letting the brain run everything, but it's actually, the brain was actually engineered by higher DNA architecture, let's just say, to be the submissive to the heart. It was meant to support and serve the heart. It was not meant to be in control, okay? And the reason for it is this: the brain is the center of the ego and individuality, and there's nothing wrong with the ego, there's nothing bad with the ego, but the ego is a perspective that when it is lost in that perspective, it is so closed in this little box that it just can't expand itself and make itself large enough to take into consideration other perspectives. That can be dangerous pretty quickly, right? When we're not considering other people, that's when other people get hurt. We weren't put on this earth to be self-serving. We weren't put on this earth to consider our own perspective. That's it, that's all. We were put on this earth that by the understanding of our unique perspective and ego, we can then serve others and ourselves and live in a tribal unity consciousness and community consciousness where we're finding ourselves and opening up and creating expansion all together, because this is a collective reality and it doesn't serve you and it doesn't serve anyone else for you to stay stuck in a point of consciousness where you're only seeing your own point of consciousness. It doesn't serve anybody. So we need to break this and we need to come into the heart consciousness. So the physical center is the physical blood pumping heart rate. It's literally the 0 point for your body. It is where all of your system and your circulatory system is connected to all other systems in the body. It's bringing nutrients to all other systems in the body. And the heart was the first organ that comes into cellular reproduction in the womb. It has a larger electromagnetic field than the brain, and it is our bridge to source consciousness. It is our bridge to unity consciousness, and it is the physical center of not only our own ego perspective, who we are on this earth, who, you know, our name that we call on this earth, right? It is that core interface of who we are, of our higher self here on this earth, and who we've come in our physical vessel or physical purpose. It is the core of that. It is the core interface of that connects us to source, that connects us to being a creator being, that connects us to things like taking someone as a part of you, to connection, to intimacy. When a child is brought into this world, the first thing they do is put the baby chest to chest with the mother, right? And that is very symbolic, because a baby's heart and a mother's heart are so damn connected when they come out of the womb. And in those first couple of years of life, developmental phases of life, the child and the mother cannot actually differentiate between themselves and that child, or the child and the mother. They can't tell the difference because they're so connected physically, mentally, emotionally, right, from that time in the womb. The heart space is basically just like the brain is this like logical center for thinking and for controlling like the physical body, memory, things like logical understanding, right? The heart is the center for all of these things on an ethereal level, right? So it is your connection with your body's inner DNA wisdom. It is your connection to who you are here to be on this earth. Connection to all your different bodies, your emotional body, your physical body, your mental body. It has a higher DNA wisdom on an energetic level through that electromagnetic field that connects us directly to the greatest technology that our bodies have to offer. And this is why we are really, really, really struggling in the human race right now, because our brains have a very limited access to the wisdom of our temples. Very base dialogue to that wisdom. Whereas our hearts are directly connected to the bridge of the entire universe, right? And and what that means is if you've ever seen the flower of life, that center 0 point that connects all other circles, all other flowers to each other on that big DNA matrix, our 0 point is our heart. So if we want to tap into the potential of being creators, if we want to tap into the potential of our DNA wisdom, if we want to tap into the potential of the entire universe and that our bodies are creators, you'll want to go for the heart because that is your most direct access. We are entirely disconnected in general from that place as humans, but there is a certain degree that we keep that connection, right? Like when you have moments with loved ones, when you let someone in, not just on a, oh, I love you, or like a brain level love you, or like an emotional even I love you, but when you truly let someone into your heart on this deep level of intimacy, that's one of those moments. When a mother unconditionally loves her child, that's one of those moments. When we are so connected to someone else, even though we've never physically met them, that we cry, that's one of those moments, right? These moments, it's just that it's like we're seeing little snapshots of what it's like to be in the heart, whereas humans were born and have the potential to live there on a daily basis, right? Be in the heart on a daily basis. Okay, so how do we do this? How do we access this energetic coding within us, right? What does it feel like? What does it look like? How do we start doing that? So there are literally a million different ways to start accessing your heart space, but I'm going to give you just one universally magnificent technique that I have been using for the last 6 years on a daily basis, and it has gotten me into a place of such deep alignment in my life that I have found alignment with all of the right actions, all the right things, all of the right healing techniques, all of the right information, all of the right people, that I have been able to go to Costa Rica and spend time in the jungle and be at a retreat center with 40 other human beings who are amazing, meet friends worldwide, connection with like huge people in this world doing amazing things. Later on, getting to visit one of those people at a wedding and meet so much amazing family there in Utah and have such the most amazing, unreal experience and come away with even more soul family for life, to absolute abundance that is flowing and non-stopping. I have been led to the man of my dreams, who I've been with for the last 6 years, and I found him literally the year that I started entering my heart space. During the little Milky's deck, and that I started to enter my heart space on a daily basis. So what I'm about to teach you is called the Unity Breath Meditation, and I'm going to give you my own version of it, but it is Drenvalo Melchizedek that first taught me how to do this, taught me the method on how to do this. How it works is we start by the understanding that the heart space connects us to our physical bodies, our emotional bodies, and our mental bodies in a new way. And when we come into that understanding, there's a whole new understanding that opens up, that not only are we a part of the cosmos, that we are creator beings, we are one, we are unity consciousness, multidimensional beings of light. We are literally connected to Mother Earth by our heart chakras. We are literally physically living on her body. We are literally physically made up of her body. All our bodies are is water, which came from the earth, cellular makeup that came from the earth, comes from the earth and the atmosphere. So we are literally physical molecules that are walking and talking, that are made up of the cosmos, but have a specific signature and body from the earth. Is a body that has a deep multidimensional consciousness. She has a name. Her name is Gaia, and you can actually communicate to her consciousness. So to start the unity breath meditation, you want to feel in your heart a feeling of love, gratitude, and joy for being connected to the earth in this way. You want to start thinking of the different elements and each of their makeup. So thinking about having bonfires with friends, thinking about the magic and the mysticism of fire, thinking about going to the ocean and really feeling in your body what it would be like to be in the ocean and feel the cosmically divine waves rushing up against your body, to really feel the sun on your face in that moment, to really feel the gratitude for the rivers, oceans, and lakes of this world, and to really just envision yourself there with the water, feeling the containment of the water, feeling the cellular genius of the water, and really feeling gratitude in your heart for the water. And then you can go into all of the fish in the sea, the ducks that swim on top of the water, the coral reefs underneath the ocean, and all of the different plant life like algae that comes out of the consciousness of water, and whales who are magical, mystical, conscious beings that are on such a next level. And really just feel in your heart what it's like to be a part of all of that, what it's like to be physically and emotionally connected to that, and to really feel gratitude for that in your heart. And then moving on to feeling gratitude for the jungles, rainforests, and forests of this earth, the different trees and the different beings who live in those trees, like monkeys, and like sloths, and like leopards that move through the forests, and lynx and wolves, to feel gratitude for all of the beings. I like to put myself in Costa Rica in the jungle, the butterflies and the hummingbirds and all the plant life growing. I also, when I'm connecting to Earth, I really like to think of a seed growing through the different phases that it takes to get to an apple tree, for example. All of my favorite foods and what it took for them to grow into that, like plant-based foods like cocoa and nuts and squash and sweet potato, broccoli and cauliflower, all of the really, really, really good plant-based foods that have these amazing codes and nutrients straight from the sun. We're going to talk just a tiny bit about what getting into the heart space does for the energetics of your other bodies. So with your physical body, once you start getting into the heart, that looks like being more aware of conscious, healthy, plant-based foods without chemicals, without sugars, without processed wheats, right? We start being attracted to the foods that are going to really multi-dimensionally serve us, physically serve us. We start being connected to the movement of our body, what our body wants to wear, what our body feels like doing, what our body's physical needs are, right? Like physical touch. And we start being physically drawn to the places and people that we need. We get into the heart space. We start unlocking emotionally how we can caretake our emotions and how we can bring our emotions closer instead of feeling lost by them. And I'm going to be doing so many videos on the emotional body and emotions, just different processes that I work with. Then the mental body, what really changes is that when it's connected to the heart, when it becomes that subservient instead of the one in control, you can start being in control of the thoughts that you're thinking. You can start reprogramming on the subconscious level, creating your reality on all different levels of your being. You start opening up to abundance and self-love and what it's like to just really be alive and to really thrive to the best of your abilities. So this is what the heart space is, and if you want to get into your heart space, don't stop with this video. Hit the subscribe button because there is going to be so many more future videos on how I've done this myself and how to live a life that is not just surviving, but that has true quality. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, my name is Ashen Wolf, and you can find me on lushheartsblossoming.com or go join my Lush Hearts Blossoming Facebook group. Goodbye, beautiful ones, and yes, you get to live the life of your absolute dreams.